So today in our little yappening sessions that I'm gonna go on, I decided to add a nemesis onto the team. But, so, as people know yesterday, I said I was going to a friend's house. And I'm not gonna lie, what the heck? I'm not gonna lie, going there was honestly really, really nice. They have no dark resist, this is gonna be great. But going there, I felt really good. I'm not gonna lie. I got to talk about what's been going on, how I've been feeling, and get kind of some answers about what's been going on, about why I haven't been able to get many replies, in a way that didn't sound pesky, you know? And hey, that went really, really well. We talked, we understood, and I felt a lot better after that. And there was something else that I wanted to talk about, which I don't think I've mentioned that much before, because it is something that was kind of hard for me to go through, but I never really talked about it because it happened kind of early on in like my I don't want to say, like, I guess it was kind of like a mental development thing. It kind of happened really early, so it wasn't too awful, but it was still awful. But basically, way back in the day when I was playing Fortnite, right? This is back in like the days I played Fortnite, so it was a while back, and basically, to put it in short, I'm not gonna put it in short actually. I have a lot of time to explain this. So, in Fortnite, you meet a lot of people, especially like fill games, like squad fill, duo fill. You know, you met people back then. This is during Chapter 1 of the game, a while back. I know, like actually millenniums ago, And I had met, so I was doing a squad queue with my uncle and his friend. So we had one other random person there. So basically, 3 people all knew each other, and then there's this one random guy. And in that squad fill, I met someone that eventually became my friend. I don't know what we're gonna call him for this story. Let's call him Jake. You know, like Jake from State Farm, Jake from Looming Legacy, all that. So Jake, we actually hit it off pretty well, and we became good friends, and we started to play games quite often together, and we just generally played Fortnite a lot. We had each other on Instagram back when I actually like friggin' had Instagram, and in general, it was a good and fun-filled times I had. And oh, this is gonna be painful. I'm just gonna keep hitting the Lamello. I don't want to deal with this thing. I'll kill it next turn. So, bruh. Barbs, icicle traps, hypnotize. Whatever, I'm fine with Wobbles going to sleep. I'm okay with this. If you sack Lamello, I'd be very happy. But, basically, I then got into playing Fortnite with some IRL friends. People that I knew in real life. And that was fun. And with that, I met newer people to play with. And at this point, a couple years have passed since I first had met Jake, and he kind of steered away from playing Fortnite and all that. Like, he was one of the people that kind of fell off out of love for it. Kind of similar to me. I don't really care for the game. What am I fighting? I don't really care for the game that much anymore. But going into it, we had eventually decided to play again. And there was this other person that I met in the story. We're going to call him Matthew. Okay, so there's me, Jake, and Matthew. So Jake and I were playing one day, and then Matthew's like, hey guys, can I join? So I was like, alright, sure, let's all play. So I then played with Jake, Matthew, and I, right? We all played together. And it seemed like Jake and Matthew really, really liked each other. Like, they were playing together, they were having fun. And the thing is, Jake had been trying to get me into playing Rocket League. Now, if you know anything about Rocket League, you know that that game is technically hard. Like, not in a way that, like, not in saying, like, technically. I'm saying it is a technically difficult game because you have to know a lot of inputs and tech to actually get into the game. It's very techy. So, imagine my shock when I try to play the game, I don't like it, and Matthew ends up loving it. and he ends up playing it a lot with Jake. And then I'm slowly realizing, like, wait a minute, this isn't super great. But I didn't really pay it too much mind because I was like, we're all friends, it'll be fine. Well, it didn't really end up being super fine because after a while, they both kept trying to get me to play Rocket League more, and at one point we did a 2v1. Now, Jake was really, really good at Rocket League. Like, he was very, very, very good. And Matthew and I were kind of bad. And it ended up being a thing where I was kind of ridiculed for being bad and all that. And any chance that I got to potentially get insulted, it was taken at. Which, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like that. So I kind of called him out on it and said that I don't like it, and accused me of being sensitive, if I recall. This happened a long time ago, so I'm trying to make sure I have every detail, but I was basically accused of being sensitive. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think getting insulted every 3 seconds should be considered getting defensive. I'm just asking to not get insulted every 2 seconds. That caused a slight little fight. It's kind of getting foggy around this time because I don't really like recalling all this. But oh, this is such a fun battle. I'm loving this. I'm having a great time. But continuing on, I should mention, I forgot to mention this, but when I played Fortnite, I was really good. Like, I was a good Fortnite player. I was good at the game. Like, I knew how to do 90s the second they were, like, getting popularized. I knew how to do build battles. I just didn't know how to aim. That was my main problem I had in Fortnite. I didn't really know how to aim. That's fixed now, but I don't really care for Fortnite anymore. But I'm guessing that some of the insults and stuff that was said to me when we were playing Rocket League and all that was probably some inner anger towards Fortnite, because we would fight. Like, we would 1v1 at Fortnite. We would play a lot. And I'm guessing that it was some kind of upsetness. It was just, I'm guessing, I don't really want to say resentment, but I don't know what I'm fighting. Slapdown, Vine Lash, Provoke, Lashent. Goodness. Don't be Infernix. Alright. This is going well. But yeah, to continue on, I got kind of sick of getting insulted and all that, so I kind of put my foot down and said, like, I don't really like how you're treating me, and I don't really like Rocket League in general. It's just not my type of game. And then after that, I was kind of, like, cut contact with for a little while. And then I felt the need, like, I needed to apologize. Like, it was my fault that I did not like this game, right? That's kind of what it was like. And it wasn't really my fault when you really think about it. Like, it wasn't my fault that I didn't like it. I just didn't enjoy the game. And should I force myself to try and enjoy this game? No. You should never force yourself to do anything that you're not comfortable with doing. So it wasn't really taken very well. And after a little while, I was actually invited back to play Valorant. And I'm not gonna lie, Valorant is definitely not my game. You know, like, I think it would make sense. I was an ex-Fortnite player, and then you're like, oh, you can play Valorant now. Like, a lot of people did that, but really wasn't my cup of tea. How do I beat this is the real question. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Really was not my cup of tea. So when we played for the first time, it was just like the Rocket League stuff all over again, where I was kind of getting insulted and all that. And one thing that I really, really remember from the things that were said was, it's kind of weird that I'm better at this keyboard and mouse thingy than you, huh? And I should mention that I was keyboard and mouse, and both Matthew and Jake were on controller. No, I think Matthew was controller for a little bit, and then he switched to keyboard, I believe. So, Mega Chomp, let's just go to this then. I'll be fine, hopefully. Our goggles should do some solid damage. But yeah, basically, to wrap up this story, I was sick of getting insulted, so I put my foot down and said I didn't like it. Another fight happened, and I was invited to play again a couple days later after it all calmed down. I learned that during that entire play session, that went really well, I might add, I was actually muted the entire time, and I wasn't getting acknowledged. And at that point, yeah, I realized, okay, this is pointless. I need to stop trying to pursue this. And that, I think, gave me problems with communication because I feel like I have to initiate something. A lot of the time, I feel like if I don't start a conversation, people won't want to talk to me. So a lot of the time, I try to figure out if there's something that we can do when I play with friends. Like, hey, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this, you know? This and that. Oh, what if we tried this, you know? And a lot of the time, it ends up working. So it's kind of become a problem with me where I kind of hyperfixate on issues that have nothing to do with me that could potentially be my fault. And that's kind of where this story is at right now. I think that a lot of things are my fault when in reality they're really not. And it's hard for my brain to wrap that around my head. Like, it was not my fault that I did not like the game, right? It wasn't my fault. It was, wait, do I even die? I can't really switch into it. I'm just gonna go Shachi. Yeah, it wasn't really my fault, right? So it's kind of difficult to gauge where my mental was at that point, but I do want to mention that I am feeling a lot better than the last couple days. Like, going to my friend's house and talking about everything really helped me clear my mind, and talking to everyone here as well really, really helped. And I'm glad I got to do that. Because, hey, it feels good, you know? It feels really good being able to talk about everything. And it really gets a lot of, I guess it is anxiety? A lot of pressure off my shoulders, I guess. Well, they didn't swap like I thought they would, but it shouldn't matter too much. That thing's dead on the next switch in, so we could have just killed it and not taken damage, but if they want to go into Borok, they can, then we'll reveal if it's boots or not. So I'm fine with this. Like, this will show us if it's boots. If it is boots, then we need to be very careful. So it wasn't boots. Yeah, this has been going pretty well. I really enjoy just yapping instead of like focusing on an actual showcase. I'll change up my team every once in a while, but I hope people are fine with me just talking. Because it feels much more natural to me. Like, I feel like I can just talk about things that have been interesting me and things I want to do. Like, something that I've always been really, really interested in is acting. I think acting is really, really cool. And I feel like, in a weird way, I actually have experience with it. Because I've been doing YouTube for a while. And, of course, a lot of the time, I'm not actually expressing my true personality, per se, on screen. Like, not all the time are you seeing me be, like, who I am to myself, you know? Hold on, let's get in the next one. I will not lose subject. So, I had to go do something real quick, but I do believe, I remember I was talking about how the, like, personality that I show isn't 100% accurate to how I actually act on my own time, because I don't think anyone really, like, shows exactly how they act around other people. I don't really think that's something normal. I try my best to be as honest as possible, though, which I think is a good quality. But a lot of the time, things can kind of suck. Like, I'm not gonna lie, things can kind of suck. And sometimes it gets hard, and going through those hardships without being able to talk about it is really draining. So I'm very glad I have abilities and ways to communicate issues with people. I think that is very important to have. And I'm very glad I'm able to do that. So I'm trying to think about what else I did today. I mean, I mostly just went to my friend's house, hung out, we had fun, and that's pretty much it. We chatted and just generally had a good time today. Like, I had a very fun time today. And I'm very glad I did, because I haven't been having the best days. I've definitely, I don't know, I just feel great. I feel a lot better than I did before. I went shopping today. That's something that I did do. That was fun. I went in store because I was trying to find something at Hot Topic, and then there was nothing there. Like, the thing I wanted wasn't there. So now I had to order it online and then go pick it up in store, which is like a little bit away, like a little far away from me, but I'll have to go pick it up tomorrow. Actually, 3 things that I wanted to get, and yeah, 3 things that I wanted to get, and I need to go get all of them, but they'll show up at some point. Well, this is going well. These are pretty easy kills. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. But yeah, I feel like what I really need to do is just not get onto the mentality of I need to not get on the mentality of thinking that I just need to do a showcase on something specific every day. I think that's kind of what my issue was for a little while. It was like I felt like I had to showcase something specific every day. But the more times I did it, the more I'm like, I think people just want to hear what's been going on and talking mostly. But I am down if people want me to showcase things again, just please let me know. Like, I'm in a drought right now, and I'm not gonna lie, I am worried. I can't deny I am worried because this Lumion drought is one of the longest ones that we have had ever. Right? I think it is the longest drought. And if people don't know, I actually built up my original following on a drought. It was a drought. It was between Sephirite and Atlantean. That's when I started to do YouTube. And I feel like that's kind of impressive. I don't want to gas myself up, but that's kind of impressive, personally. Because, like, I don't know. Getting popular in Lumion is difficult if you are not consistent. And playing a game like Lumion can be hard to play consistently. So yeah, like, I guess, like, I don't know. I feel very happy with where I am. Like, I feel happy with where I am right now. How I'm feeling at this moment in time. I feel very good. I feel a lot better than I have been feeling in the past couple days. And I'm very glad I do. And I am excited to go pick up the thing I wanted to get tomorrow. If it ends up being ready by then. I think it should be, though. It should be. Alrighty, so probably be the last one. So, funnily enough, if this quality looks a little weird, I accidentally unpaused when I was doing, like, my hourly elemental dungeons thing. And it might look a little odd, but we're gonna rock with it anyway. Hopefully I actually remember to take it out. I should remember. I'm talking about it right now. But a lot of the time I forget about things. So if you randomly saw me just sitting in elemental dungeons, yeah, I was just sitting there. I was waiting for something to happen. I need to bring this, actually. I need to bring Waba. I think I need to, yeah. I don't think that's a very good bring here. Yeah, that would have been a terrible bring. I mean, it's good for Dakuda, but... what if I just leave with this and then blow everything up with Jetstream? Because they can't switch into it. Ooh, sounds fun. Oh. Well, as long as it's not tank, I'm good. Right? Bye. Alrighty. We are leaving. I kind of want to play Marvel Rivals again. Gambit looks like a fun character because I played a strategist when I played that game. I think that was fun. I played like strategist DPS. I've always been really bad at tank. Like, I can play damage and I can play heals really well, but I'm really bad at tank because I don't like having to rely on people healing me. Or dealing damage. And tanks, they can deal damage and take damage, but not as much as a DPS can deal. You know? So, I kind of get on this weird mentality where I'm like, I can't ever play tank. I can't. I'm a terrible tank. I will always be a terrible tank. That's why I always go for DPS or support, because I think they are easier to play. And personally, I think strategists are fun in that game. They made them fun. There was that weird support strike that everyone was doing, though, a little bit ago. I thought that was kind of funny. I didn't really get what they were all yapping about, because I guess it was a thing, like, I think supports in Marvel Rivals legitimately got less points for contributing stuff, so I guess that, in a way, made it annoying. Oh, is it Vivid Sight? What am I fighting? I don't like that. Well, unfortunately, I ignore the -1 or -2. I just outsped it. Wait, what am I fighting? Ow, bruh. But yeah, honestly, I feel Dang, I feel a lot better than I have in the past couple days. I think talking about everything really helped clear my mind, and I don't know. I just feel good. I feel like I processed things really well, and I don't know if this is a temporarily good feeling or if it's going to continue feeling good. We're gonna find out. I will be posting updates and all that. Like, don't worry. I'll let you guys know if I go back on the depression arc. But I'm very glad that I feel better. I don't really know what I want to do for thumbnails, though. I've kind of gotten to the point where I don't mind whatever the heck I do for the thumbnail. Let's throw whatever random image I want. And I think that's funny. Like, does it have to be super professional? No. But I think the only problem with that is, thumbnails are kind of meant to allure your eyes. So when people just see, like, a dark thumbnail that says venting, it's not exactly any, like, specific subject, right? It's just me kind of yapping. But, like, if I was to actually do a showcase, I might just do, like, a really zoomed-in picture of the face of the Lumion. Maybe I'll just do a zoomed-in picture of friggin' Nemesis. That sounds funny. That does sound funny. I might do that. But yeah, like, how did everyone's day go? My day was great. I had a good day. What's also kind of cool is I've been changing my Discord profile picture a lot because ever since Has Been Season 2 concluded, I got a bunch of pictures of my favorite character, and I just been making that my profile picture. Like, whichever one I feel like I want to use that day is one I've been using, and I'm loving the one of today. It's probably one of my favorites out of all the pictures that I have. I don't know. I think I was just in a weird slump, and I'm feeling a lot more upbeat and happy about it right now. And I'm very glad I do feel like that. I did a lot of stuff today, though. Like, I kind of woke up, I went to a friend's house, then I went shopping, and then I came home to record. Like, I feel like I did stuff today, and I feel like I want to be home, you know? I think getting out of the house really helped me feel good. So, I am glad about that. And I want to do more, like, hangout times with people in real life, which I think will be very helpful for how I feel about a lot of things and get me out of the, or if I ever get into, so I don't get into another one of those slumps of sadness. Dang, Nemesis is hurting. This guy's he's clearly trained, right? Doesn't the what is it called? Doesn't the Metronoli come with TPs though? Unless it's one he caught in the wild. It could have been a wildly caught one, but hey, I think that was fun. Nemesis is pretty good, I'd say. So hold on, we gotta get the thumbnail. You know. There we go. There we go. It'll be here's the thumbnail. There we go. Hold on. There we go. There we go. There's our thumbnail. Alrighty. But I do hope that everyone has a good time. And with all of that being said, I will see everyone later. Adios.